Let's talk about the Vancouver Canucks rookie points record, because this is something that was brought up in Elliotte Friedman's 31 Thoughts from just a few days ago. I was thinking about when I wanted to cover this in a video, and I figured that this would actually be an appropriate time. Let's talk about this rookie record first and foremost. Now, the rookie record that we're talking about is Elias Pettersson, who broke Pavel Bure's Vancouver Canucks rookie scoring record from 1992 last season. Pettersson had 66 points in 71 games played. If we take a look at the rookie scoring list, it was Pavel Bure before, it was Ivan Hlinka before, it was Trevor Linden, it was all these old Canucks players that were actually playing. Brock Besser is obviously the outlier here. From the 21st century, he had 55 points. But what we're talking about here today is Quinn Hughes, because Hughes, even though he's not on this list of players that we're taking a look at right now, he was actually right underneath Besser, with 53 points in 62 games played. Now, obviously, the big difference is that Quinn Hughes is a D-man, everybody else over here is a forward, with the exception of Dale Tallon, but the idea of Quinn Hughes being in this conversation brings up the question as to whether or not Quinn Hughes would have been able to beat Elias Pettersson's rookie scoring record. Now, rookie scoring records are something that Elias Pettersson is very, very familiar with. When Elias Pettersson was drafted, he went from the Allsvenskan to the SHL, and in the SHL, he broke Kent Nilsson's rookie scoring record, and that kind of set the entire city ablaze with excitement. This guy wasn't even in Vancouver yet, and everybody was excited to see him in a Canucks jersey. Now, a year later, he had himself the Canucks rookie scoring record too, which granted is not as prestigious as breaking the rookie scoring record in one league of play like the SHL is, but it's still amazingly impressive nonetheless, being the best rookie to ever suit up for your hockey team. But Quinn Hughes is in this conversation because his points per game would have projected him towards getting about a 63, 64, 65 point mark if the season continued and if he played the full season. This is what brings up the discussion. The fact that Quinn Hughes would have been on pace to match Petey's 66 points in some reality, and it brings up a bigger question as to whether or not one season was more impressive than the other. Before we get into that, though, let's go over to 31 Thoughts, Elliotte Friedman's article here. What he did was he sent out a few text messages and emails to NHL players around the entire league and took all their responses and compiled them here into one article for us viewers at home to read and digest. For the Vancouver Canucks, Elliotte Friedman asked Quinn Hughes a few questions. They had a few laughs about Huggy Bear, the nickname, and all that stuff, the Calder, and other things that Elliotte Friedman touches on. But this little tidbit over here, at the end of the first Quinn Hughes thought, relates to the idea that we're talking about here in this video. Last year, Elias Pettersson set the Canucks rookie record with 66 points. Hughes' pace was right at that number. Will he tell Pettersson that he would have beaten it and just claim the title anyways? No. I'm not going to, Hughes says. I had Petey. But Petey didn't have Petey, if you understand what I'm saying. Besides, it's all about winning, not about that. First off, I love the redirection of the question. No, it's not about the rookie race, it's about winning games, which, if you're a hockey player, you know that's the cliche answer, but at the same time, it never gets old seeing that brought up as the response. And secondly, Hughes does bring up a very, very good point. Hughes without Petey this season wouldn't get nearly the same amount of points that he got this season. Now, granted, Hughes is very, very good, but so much of this Vancouver Canucks offense ran through the guys up top like Elias Pettersson and JT Miller, guys that we didn't have last season. If Elias Pettersson was playing with a Quinn Hughes last year, he probably would have had more points than 66. If Elias Pettersson was playing with a JT Miller last year, he probably would have had more points than 66. It's just a matter of circumstance and a matter of who you're playing with that can really dictate how well a player does in their rookie season. Brock Boeser even has his own story here. If we go back to that little chart of rookie producers for the Vancouver Canucks, Boeser with his 55 points in 62 games played, if we do the math for that, 55 divided by 62 multiplied by 82, that would have been on pace for 72 points. He was on pace to beat Pettersson's record too, before Pettersson even set the record. And Boeser was playing with a guy like Henrik and Daniel Sedin. Actually, that's not one guy. That's two. Boeser was also playing with a guy named Thomas Vanek, who I think is very underrated when it comes to acknowledging the role in how he helped Boeser become an NHL player. The point is, there are many different variables that you have to take a look at when you take a look at these rookie records. Bure got 60 points back in the 90s. Sure, there were good players on the Canucks back then, but the fact that Bure just became a superstar and was at 60 points in 65 games also tells its own story. Bure has the Canucks rookie goal record at 34. Second place is Brock Boeser with 29. Quinn Hughes, out of everybody on this list here, has the most assists out of every Vancouver Canucks rookie ever. Second place is Dale Talon, who had more points than Hughes, but in 10 more games played. So there is a different story to all of these different lists and these different players that we're taking a look at here, and Quinn Hughes having an Elias Pettersson and a JT Miller and a Tanner Pearson and eventually a Tyler Toffoli on his team definitely made things so much better. Now, does this take away from what Hughes has done? Absolutely not. I'm not going to say that. I am not going to belittle the Quinn and say that his season wasn't as impressive or whatever as another person just because of the players he played with. They're all very impressive in their own right. But I'm turning this one over to you. I'm not going to ask which one was better, because in my opinion, it's Elias Pettersson's who was better. He was playing with worse teammates, and he did more, technically speaking. But I want to ask you, which season have you been most excited by? Now, this kind of changes things up. And we're not talking about the seasons as a whole, like the Canucks season. Instead, we're talking about the individual season of the players themselves. Which season do you think was more exciting for you to watch? Elias Pettersson's rookie campaign a year ago, or Quinn Hughes' rookie campaign this season? If I'm going to be honest, I'm going to go with Hughes. Not because I'm a disbeliever in Petey, no, that is absolutely not what I want to say, but because the Vancouver Canucks have never seen a defenseman who can skate so fluidly, who can bring the puck up with controlled zone exits so efficiently, and who can tape-to-tape pass rink wide so awesomely like a Quinn Hughes. We've had some good offensive defensemen over the past few years. Christian Ehrhoff comes to mind. Obviously, Dale Talon is in there, but Quinn, man. Quinn, the first rookie defenseman in years to reach 50 points in a season, not just for the Canucks, but for every NHL team. Cale Makar shortly followed him up, and he got 50 a little bit later, but you get what I'm saying here, right? Quinn Hughes is so different from what we've been used to seeing with NHL rookies, let alone Canucks rookies, that this season was more exciting to me. Plus, the additions of all the other guys adding themselves onto the team allowed Quinn Hughes to play his game even more, which is why I'm more excited by what we saw this season as opposed to what we saw with Petey last season. But at the same time, there is definitely an argument that you can make to justify Petey's season last year being more exciting, being more impressive, etc. So, I'm looking forward to seeing all that in the comments section below. Comment down below what you think, Hughes' season or Petey's season. Which rookie season was more exciting? As for which one was better, Quinn Hughes says that it was Petey's himself, because Petey did not have Petey, and Hughes also actually did have Petey. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So that Trollson99, and bye.